Still on FOCAC, Zimbabwe can now export avocados to China for the first time after a new agricultural protocol was signed between the two countries at the ongoing Forum on China and Africa Cooperation in Beijing. The Horticultural Development Council has welcomed the development, saying it presents the potential for growers to expand their reach into one of the world's biggest markets. ZTN Prime spoke to Agriculture Permanent Secretary Professor Obert Jiri, who explained what this development means for Zimbabwe.
So this is exciting news which we obviously have just received, to say that in terms of our horticulture we now have that huge market of over 1 billion people in China, where we can send our horticultural produce, particularly the avocados now. Remember, this comes at the back of the citrus trade protocol as well, which we signed in 2022. So really exciting that the Chinese continue to get interest in our horticultural produce, and so we are extremely excited. And this of course will lead to the expansion of our avocado production base, as farmers now have a willing off-taker and a serious off-taker in the Chinese market. So we are excited, and we look forward to supporting the farmers, and the farmers also supporting this route which the government has chartered and opened.
Zimbabwe exported goods worth $1.28 billion to China last year and imported $1.3 billion worth of machinery and raw materials from the world's second biggest economy. This represents a 119.7% increase from the previous year. The surge in trade reflects an upward trajectory in the relations between the two countries. China is Zimbabwe's third largest export destination and second largest source market for imports. We're now joined by Eben Mabunda to understand this development. Eben, good evening. Now, why is it important for Zimbabwe's trade position?
Well, good evening. Quite an important development. The trade, of course, position between China and Zimbabwe has witnessed imports from China estimated at $1.3 billion in 2023, at a time that Zimbabwe exported to China goods worth $1.28 billion. So from a Zimbabwean perspective, that will translate to a deficit, of course, of about 700 million United States dollars. And so with this development, that could indicate perhaps a transformation where that matrix is actually concerned going into the future, bearing in mind that we've seen a lot of traction, especially where Zimbabwe's lithium resource is concerned, and of course other possibilities where agricultural products are actually concerned, which could transform that matrix and see Zimbabwe possibly exporting even more products to China. And so quite a positive development here for Zimbabwe.
So what growth prospects exist for Zimbabwe's avocado production?
Well, China is one of the world's biggest markets for avocado, and what is unique to Zimbabwe is that a lot of the agricultural products from this market are pretty much organic, and there has been green clamors for the consumption of organic foods across the world, especially in advanced markets. And so this would fall into that particular bracket, having Zimbabwe export organic products to China, one of the world's largest avocado markets. Of note is also the fact that as a global market, we're looking at a market size of about 17 billion United States dollars, and China enjoys a huge chunk of that. And so Zimbabwe getting to tap into the Chinese avocado market, there would be infinite possibilities, I would put it, and value, of course, that could be created market between the two countries, but not just for avocados, but for other products that are produced from Zimbabwe, other fruits that would be of interest. Already Zimbabwe exports macadamia to China. Zimbabwe exports tea and several other products to the Chinese market. And so there are various possibilities and various options and possibilities that could be explored in this relationship with China.